Alright guys, I'm going to talk to you today about extinction and biodiversity. You may have heard of one major extinction event in Earth's history, and that was the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Earth has actually experienced 5 mass extinctions. And you may not know that we're actually currently in the 6th mass extinction. And that's been ongoing since 10,000 BCE, back when woolly mammoths were still around. And it's mostly, this extinction event is mostly due to human activity. There's been 875 documented extinct species between 1500 and 2009. But the vast majority of extinctions are undocumented. And some estimates actually have us at losing around 14,000 species per year. But that's also on the high end, but it's somewhere around that. This is a tremendous loss of biodiversity, or the degree of variation in life that's currently around. And things have to change, and I'm going to tell you why. So what are the reasons for this loss of biodiversity? The biggest one is habitat destruction and degradation. And that's anything from resource exploitation on the part of like mining and that sort of stuff, or just industrialization, clearing areas for human habitation, that sort of things. Others are overexploitation and, or for example, overfishing, trawling and things like that reduce populations of fish and other animals at such a rate that they can't actually reproduce and repopulate in the time before others are being taken out of the system. And then another major is pollution, and that kind of goes into a number of different things, anywhere from water pollution, land pollution, and even thermal pollution, which is kind of an oddball, but different industries and things of that nature can generate heat, and when they dump hot water or coolant or anything like that into streams or ponds, the animals that are in there aren't used to those temperatures and die off. And a good example is, especially local, is trout. They can only survive in cold water, cold running water, and when we have different industries and things like that pumping water from their cooling or from their activities into those streams, even if it's clean water, if it's a different temperature from what the actual stream is, the animals in the stream can suffer. And another major one, and you've probably seen this around here, is invasive species. A big one is kudzu, which we've all seen around here, covering everything in its path. Kudzu actually comes from, I believe, China, and it's even considered something of a pest there. But an invasive species just constitutes any foreign species that's introduced by humans that is able to outcompete local animals or plants and has no predators. So there's a number of things that happen that are damaging native species, whether it be the introduction of species or habitat loss or any of those others. But why does it matter? Losing biodiversity sometimes seems like it doesn't matter, because if you look around now, there's still a lot of animals out there. We see deer all the time, and people hit them all the time. But why does it matter? Well, there's a whole slew of reasons why we like biodiversity. There's a bunch of natural services that biodiversity provides. Namely, a few are protection of water resources. There's a lot of different plants and animals that actually clean water that are endangered because of invasive species and things like that. The soil formation and protection, revitalizing farmlands. If you're growing things like cotton and other crops of that nature, they tend to take a lot of the nutrients out of the soil, which can be damaging to that entire ecosystem. Pollution breakdown and absorption. There's a slew of different plants that are actually able to take pollution out of the ground, and when they don't have the habitat that they need, that can be damaging. And in general, climate stability. A few biological services that everyone benefits from that biodiversity helps promote. Food in general. If you have a large sum of biodiversity, you have a bunch more crops, you have a bunch of different types of hybrids you can actually create from that. There's a lot of more options that you have if you have a slew of biodiversity. Medicinal resources and pharmaceutical drugs. There's hundreds and hundreds of plants that you get different compounds from that are used in everyday medicine. And there's more being found every day. Habitat loss and degradation and things of that nature cause plants to go extinct all the time, and we don't even know what we're losing in regards to that. It could be a cure-all or anything that would help with cancer research or future disease research, but we don't even know that we're losing it. And in general, breeding stock and population reservoirs are a huge thing. The larger stock you have of something, the better you are able to work with it. For example, bananas, the bananas that we eat are all essentially clones from the same banana tree, because there's only one separate species of banana currently in existence right now. If something happens to that species of banana, then we are kind of out of luck. And then again, potential future resources. And in addition to that, pollination is a huge deal. And bees are actually currently on the decline, and nobody currently knows why. There's also a number of social benefits that we get from them, from having a large sum of biodiversity. Research and education play important parts. Recreation and tourism are huge, especially in places like Australia, the coastline, anywhere really. Even here in Georgia, we have a Gray's Reef, which gets a lot of people visiting it every year and generating tourist money. Or the Great Barrier Islands, which also generate a huge sum of tourist money. And in many places, the animals that are endangered or threatened have cultural values, which in some cases is why they're endangered and threatened. So what can we do about these things? What are some solutions? Well, for the everyday person, it's a lot of little things. If you have a yard, plant native plants. Native plants help promote local biodiversity. It provides local pollinators a place to get nectar and survive. And it also provides shelter for many local animals. Reduce or stop using herbicides and pesticides. Those can actually linger in the ground for many number of years and have repercussions in the ecosystem that we don't find out about for a long time. For example, what happened with DDT and different eagle and osprey eggshells. Nobody made that correlation until they finally figured out that because they were using DDT on weeds and plants, it's a herbicide, that was actually going into the system, going into the water areas, rivers, creeks, and streams, into the fish population, and when those fish were eaten by ospreys and eagles and hawks and things like that, then it was actually getting into those birds. And another thing, again, is to recycle and buy sustainable products. The less trash that we're putting out into the environment, the better. What are some bigger things? Get involved. Supporting local wildlife refuges, habitats, parks, etc., anything like that. Even volunteering at local nature centers, that sort of stuff. That can be a huge help. Educating the population is the best thing we can do. You may be thinking, about saving endangered species means saving rhinos and other tropical things like that, but here in Georgia we actually have a number of endangered species that are definitely in need of our help. On the coast you've got different whales, manatees, sea turtles. There's plants throughout the state that most people don't even know of, but actually make very beautiful flowers. There's the indigo snake on the coast as well, the wood stork, things that people don't really think about. So, in conclusion, healthy biodiversity is beneficial for everyone, and it's easy to do, and it's something that we should do because we want to hold on to these species. They can be useful to us in the future, and we want to make sure that our children are able to see some of these wonderful animals and plants as well. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening about this important topic.